Good day to all of you. I hope you guys are doing good. Today I'm with Rhipe Malaysia. Basically, Rhipe is a cloud licensing provider. They do have business development and knowledge services that support services provider like us, AXO. Gooi Lee, he's been in Rhipe for almost 7 years now, from a business development manager up to right now as a country manager. He had lead Rhipe Malaysia, winning several Microsoft Channel and Partner Award for the past few years. The reason one will be the Rhipe as a Microsoft Channel Development Partner of the Year in 2019. A trendsetter, an innovator with a disruptive mindset, enabling new way to improve businesses, serving IT industry in Malaysia with his 26 years of experience uh, in Malaysia, in IT industry in Malaysia. So how are you, Lee? How's everything on your side?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been keeping very busy. I'm surprised you dug up all this information about myself and Ripe. Thanks for the reminder. I've been working for 26 years already, so everybody already know my age, right? But it's been a long and somewhat wonderful journey, right? Half my career has been spent advocating cloud, and you try and talk about cloud 8, 9, 10 years ago, right? People ask you, is it raining? Right? These days, you talk about cloud, everybody understands it. Everybody, from the youngest to the oldest, they all understand what cloud is, and that's why I think now it's a better time than ever to have this conversation. And I'm very thankful you actually invited me.
All right. So without further ado, all right. So let me
Mm,
just straight away jump to the question. All right. So
mm,
I have few questions here. All right. I hope you don't mind to share your feedback, your thoughts on this, specifically in Malaysia IT industries or Malaysia communities. All right.
mm,
So the first question will be: what are the some trends you see in technology that have
mm-hmm.
the potential to impact the businesses or industries, and how and where could we benefit them from technology standpoint?
Especially from a distributor perspective. Okay, just to give you an example, we have around 200 partners. Most of them are in the cloud business. So we do see a lot of trends, and because Ripe is a regional company, we see trends across ASEAN, Korea, New Zealand, Australia, and Japan as well. I think the most inevitable one that we see is that everybody somehow or rather, whether it's through proper means or through whatever they know, is trying to move their operations online, right? Whether it's on cloud, whether it's through a paid software subscription, or whether it's even using whatever they can scramble to get their hands on. The new normal is that everybody has to go to cloud. But having said that, right, there are so many facets that you can actually go to cloud, right? From the productivity tools that you have, from the infrastructure that you have in place, from the even the ability for you to work remotely, right, and how you interact with your customers. Actually, the most apparent trend these days I see is that everybody is going to cloud. Number one, everybody has got no choice but to digitally transform. So over the years, everybody thought about digital transformation. Everybody thought about IR 4.0. All that now become COVID-19, and COVID-19 is the main driver for digital transformation, right? So does that answer your question? I mean, I can go into a long conversation about this, but
Yeah. Okay. So I will just continue with the question. It's
sure,
somehow related with the first question, right?
sure.
So digital transformation is right now is a key thing. People are considering to move to the cloud, online businesses, all right?
Hmm.
So from what are the biggest obstacles to success in business that planning to embark digital transformation during this pandemic?
Actually, if I take off my IT provider hat, right, and put on a normal layman hat, right, to me, I think the biggest obstacle is actually indecisiveness, right? Whether it comes from bureaucracy, whether it comes from red tape, whether it comes from the fact that you just don't know how, right? The fact of the matter is that there are some people who will just think that maybe I can wait this out. Maybe I see what my friend is doing and I follow, or maybe I see what my competitor is doing and I follow. The issue here is that given the COVID-19 pandemic, right, and the fact that for the next maybe 1 year, 2 years, you can't go back to the normal, you have to change. And a lot of obstacle that I see is that a lot of people think that I have to change everything in one go, right? Then they will start thinking, oh, if I change everything, it is expensive. Now, my take on it would be, and my advice to all my partners and the ecosystem would be, you have to take small steps, baby steps. Start with doing one thing that can help you transform, right? Maybe I give you an example. Maybe it's just as simple as start to share all the documents you have in any way, shape, or form that you can online, so that all your staff and all your colleagues can actually work on it. That could be one simple step that you can take, right? One positive trend that we have seen by a lot, things like video conferencing tools. You have your Zoom, you have your Microsoft Teams, your Google Hangout. All those have actually grown at about 700-800%, right? And because of that, it shows that people are moving. So at least very good, there is a first step. And then once you are online, like how you and I are now having this conversation online, you have as a company or as a business, you have to realize, okay, what's my next step, right? For example, I give you an example. Somebody who is doing finance and admin can easily work from home, right? So the way they pivot is very simple. Just realistically move everything online, work from home, have the files access, have your system accessible online, and you're fine. But what about somebody who's, example, selling cars, right? Selling machinery, stuff like that. It's a very difficult way to get online, right? So one way that you could do that is maybe by providing information that people need online. The websites are already there, right? You can maybe add further things. Let's as example, if you're selling specialized equipment, now is not the time to withhold information and the data, right? Because the fact of the matter is, if you withhold all this information, and like previously, I see you only, I give you my brochure, I see you only, I share information with you, and guess what? The customer or your potential buyer is going to say, I'll just buy whatever, whoever willing to share with me, right? The game has changed. And if you can see, when I talk about all this, I don't necessarily put in the element of everything has to be cloud or IT, but to be honest with you, everything has to be common sense, because we are facing a new normal that is not normal. Nobody has the right answer on what to handle. So back to what I was saying, if you take baby steps with this, then you should be fine, right? And then we react and we change as we go along, right? I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you, thank you. All right. So, do Ripe have a step-by-step roadmap to our businesses?
Well, good question, Jakub. Right, we're actually very fortunate. We are born in cloud distributor, which means we have no warehouse, we have no inventory, we don't even have the tax licenses to sell physical boxes. Everything that we do is online based. And we are a company that we eat our own dog food. So if we sell Microsoft products, we use the whole plethora of Microsoft products. So we use their CRM, we use their financial tools, their ERP. All right, we use Office 365, we use Azure. So from the get-go, we are able to even start, even prior to the COVID pandemic, we are already on the cloud. And now it's even more apparent that that was a good move. Because let me give you an example. Before COVID started, on the 18th, our CEO announced that right globally, all offices will shut down. The week of the 18th, right? I think it was a Thursday or Friday, the government announced the lockdown. The Monday itself, we started working from home. With the whole company, nobody had to go to office. All right.
Wow,
And even like
that's
right
great.
now, yeah, even like right now, when there was talks of the MCO being lifted on the 4th, our CEO actually had a town hall to say, okay, nobody goes to work until June 9, right? Because we couldn't have a very surefire way to keep our staff safe, to keep them like 1.5 meters apart in work environment. And because we ran a service office, right, where we are not sure of the kind of ventilation, the service office does not have a window. So that's one of the things that we actually made the call to say, just don't go back to office. Everybody's working, everybody's still running business as usual, right? So we that's to your point. We actually are in a very good position to not only pivot and work from home, but we have also been actively helping all our partners. We've been also working with Microsoft to help businesses that need help through either the E1 trials and promotions, where there was a time when Microsoft was giving out a lot of free video conferencing tools. So we've been backing Microsoft up very strongly there, and I think just within Rhipe Malaysia alone, we already managed to help around 30,000 end users to get online, right? And I think that number within Malaysia, I mean, comments to the whole of Malaysia, everybody really pulled together and help each other out. So I think even on that front, Microsoft itself have given out maybe more than 100,000 or 200,000 users that they have helped to get online, right? This is in line with the same 700% growth I was telling you about with Teams and Zoom and Google as well, right? So yeah, we do quite a fair bit as well.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do as well right now, which we find is very critical, is we try to help our partners like yourself, all right, to basically move anybody that needs to go to the cloud. We do the assessment with them. We help them to see whether they can go to cloud, where they can uproot themselves and go. So we do help them there with our network of our partners. And we've even listed like all these services on the MDEC website, so in hopes that it reaches more people and we can help more people, right? So yeah, a lot of things we are doing here.
Yeah, good initiative, Lee.
Yeah.
All right. So keep doing that. So, of course, working remotely, right, is the biggest struggle to the business. All right. And as you mentioned just now, some people may able to work from home. Some people may not. All right. So in this situation, right, how technology like Office 365 or Azure or VMware help the businesses out there?
Okay, good question actually, Jacob. The, 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 the gist behind it is very simple. Everybody is now looking at means to go online. Whether you talk about productivity working from home, whether it's your infrastructure that goes to cloud, all right, or whether it's even a whole entire platform. I mean, take for one example, the time when they said they couldn't have the Bazaar Ramadan, right? What happened is that the Malaysians got together, they created their, I know there's a platform out there that allows the Bazaar Ramadan, that pulls the delivery people in, and when you buy something, you buy a mutabak, they will come pick it up, send it to you, right? So that is that's the initial stage that you must have an idea of what to do. I would say the struggle of going to work online, for that matter, would be the fact that sometimes you reach a point where you don't know how to differentiate yourself in whether you're still working 9 to 5 or you're working from 9 to 9, right? There's one critical area of differentiation from a personal level. If you talk about from a company level, I've been speaking to a lot of partners, a lot of end customers. I think the biggest questions a lot of business owners have in mind is with regards to productivity, right? I'm sure yourself as a business owner, you will be thinking, what is my staff doing at home? Is he, lying around in his pajamas, or is he really working very hard? But safe to say, I mean, if the company culture is such where you are positive about it, for example, ever since day one of us working at home, right? Right, Malaysia, we implemented a morning stand-up call where every day 9 o'clock we will have a meeting every single day without miss, yeah. And the team will chime in, today I'm doing what, I'm doing that. So I mean, it's not there to actually police, but it's actually there to support each other, right? So and from for that we have grown more closely because of this. Everybody is aware what everybody does. Traditionally, previously, there are days where I won't even go into office because I have appointments outside, but now every day I get to talk to my people, and my team is not big. It's about 15 of us, so it's easy to go around 5 minutes each, right? So again, I've also seen a lot of positivity from a lot of my partners, whereby they say now productivity has increased because they don't travel so much. Those that can work from home, like technical guys like yourself, they have more time to actually deal with problems. All right. They don't spend a lot of time traveling. They don't spend a lot of time getting ready. For the ladies, they don't put on makeup, go to work anymore, right? So they get a lot of free time back. And because of that, a lot of people actually, a lot of bosses tell me, I've never seen this kind of level of productivity within my team previously, right? So I think that's on a positive note. Of course, we still have to be aware that you have to be able to monitor the performance of your team and your colleagues and make sure that the company still operates. Of course, to that point, um, like I said, people who are in the sales line, retail line, right? They have no choice but to go to work. But having said that, um, a lot of businesses I find, especially the retail ones, have started moving online. And the beauty about Malaysians, I would say, is that we don't wait until okay, I got a platform ready, then I'm online. All right, we'll WhatsApp each other. Hey, I want to sell you this. Are you interested? You said you want to buy this before that, right? Then you know how it is. Even you and I, Maybank to you, you bang in for me. I'll send the thing to you. So if you're innovative and you're creative, right? And I've heard of stories where I won't mention the names, but even retail fashion, right? They reach out to their high-end customers, their databases of all their loyalty members, and they send them an e-catalog and say, would you like to buy this, right? If you want, we can pack it nicely and have it shipped to you at no extra charge. Here's the bank account, just bang in the money, right? So, I mean, this is amazing stuff, but just have to be aware. And I think, I've got partners who are running these sort of seminars called Leadership Through Crisis. I think that's key. Once you have that and you keep going. Funny story though, people are now saying that I'm working so well at home, I don't want to go back to office. So
Yes, yes,
you will probably have
that's
that, Ashok.
indeed true. Indeed true. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Which are the area of business would benefit most from cloud computing? All right. Do you mind to share your experience or
Good
case study
question.
on this?
Okay, good question. Uh, Actually, I would revert to the point that now, currently, COVID, right? With COVID, any business that is end customer facing, right? That means if you run a retail business, you run a mama shop, you run a hawker store, any any business that is retail facing, many customers, you don't know who your customers are, those businesses are key to going online. You have no choice but to go online. Now, a lot of people have been very innovative of how they go online, right? For example, in the food industry, there is Grab and there's Food Panda, right? Given probably the inaccessibility or the fact that they couldn't get themselves on the on the Grab or Food Panda wagon, a lot of people started using WhatsApp, whatever means they had, Facebook, and they started selling their produce and even getting customers, partners like Lala Move and all those courier companies to send you this food. So what I'm saying here is that the biggest impact I've seen is that people starting to work together, P2P, B2B, P2P, right? That is one of the biggest benefit, and I think the food industry number one has pivoted very well. To date, there's not only two main platforms. There are, I think, five, six, seven platforms. If you talk about the payment gateways have seen a boom in business where everybody's buying online. You and I, we're doing it via online banking or credit card or whatever, right? So that actually fuels the growth of you guys, people who are in the cloud business, who are serving the back end. So that's from a perspective of somebody who's got a lot of customers. Another very good example is, if you probably heard of this, IKEA now actually, when it was locked down, IKEA was taking orders online as well. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
They don't have an e-commerce portal, but they were doing it kind of manual. You have the catalog, you see what you want, you would email them or ring them, make the payment, and they send it to you, right? So anybody front facing, customer facing, you have to really change. Um, if you look at somebody who's B2B, right, serving within the ecosystem of B2B, because your interaction is to selected partners per se, or you sell within your own ecosystem, right? You have the context. So you may not need to have everything front facing, go to cloud, e-commerce, payment gateway. You may not need. You can still send an invoice and say, can you please bank in, and I'll send the goods to you. All right. But what you need on the flip side is that you need to make sure that your systems are all online. Your line of business applications are online. Your billing systems, your CRM systems, right? Your complaint management, all those things are online, and your records are online, so that when your people are working from home, they can still work. Now, traditionally, that is the bunch that my partners like yourself and us are actually looking at. Traditionally, over the course of not 26 years, but a couple of years back, those are the people that will tell you, I still have time. I still can decide. I'll wait until my server dies, then I will move it to cloud. But now, we are getting phone calls to say, um, hey, everything's working, but my nothing's wrong with my servers, but I really need a backup plan to move it to cloud, right? So that's where guys like you come in, and that's where you can actually provide them with services and all that. But having said that, right, not only are we seeing those people move to cloud, we have also seen influx of things like, for example, DocuSign. Now people will tell you, oh, I cannot go to office, therefore I cannot sign checks, I cannot sign documents. All right, there's been an influx in requests for this type of digitalization services, either Adobe or DocuSign. So I think that's where you see the benefit. The whole mindset actually has shifted. And I was just thinking about it, right? If COVID actually carries on, right, it will kind of cement the fact that humans don't really need to see each other to get stuff done. Now that's not very pretty, but it's
Yes,
sure
yes.
sure
It
going
might
to happen.
happen. It might happen actually. All right.
Mm, yes,
Okay.
correct. Yep.
So let's go to the last question. All right. So we
Sure, sure,
passed
sure.
20 over minutes already. All right. So what are the current pandemic response from
Mm.
Rhipe to businesses for the past 2 months?
Oh, okay. Good question. I already covered some of this, but I will just reiterate
Just a
those
recap. Yeah.
points. Yeah, just to recap. Okay, so when COVID happened, our immediate response was to actually work with Microsoft. So on that front, Microsoft really gave out a lot of free trials on their video conferencing tools, Teams, E1. Those trials are still ongoing. So we proactively engage all our partners to get them out, even yourself as well. You've been helping out. And that message is actually on a truly humanitarian and help message. There was no strings attached. If you need help, we are here to help. Right? That's one thing that we do. The second thing that we do is right now, amongst all that noise that is available in the digital space, right? We work with partners like yourself to actually give end customer a very unbiased, neutral assessment. That means we go in, we install some tools, we tell them, hey, you're running these things on premise. This is how it looks like on the cloud, and this is the cost, right? And then they can make that decision whether or not they want. Because I think these days there's just a lot of noise online, whether it's social media, whether it's webinars, to a point where too much of a good thing is a bad thing, and people are starting to realize, oh no, I'm more confused than ever. So our message here is that we just want to help those that goes to people to go to cloud, and we will actually give you a very unbiased opinion of what you should move to cloud, right? Because these days, we don't want people to be wasting money, spending money. Gone are those days. Today, you have to be very honest humans with your counterpart to say, Mr. Customer, right? You look like you need help. Out of 100%, maybe 30% of your workload needs to go to cloud so that you can operate. The rest, you leave it there. We don't mind. We're not here to capitalize and gain from that. We just want to help you change, right? And then our observation is that once customer goes to cloud, they rarely come back because of the convenience, the ease, the immediate inherent backup and disaster recovery available to them. They're like, huh, what is that? I don't no longer want to go back, right? It's like going from a manual car to an automatic car. One day you'll say, no, thank you, I don't need it. Give me something with pedals instead, right? So the same way that is happening in the IT industry now, except that it is now accelerated. Okay, but the good news is a lot of people have gone to cloud. A lot of people have, even the local service providers versus the public cloud players. Everybody has the capacity and bandwidth to deal with such things. I think everybody was ready, kind of, for this type of thing. It's just COVID just pushed everybody along, and now
Yes.
people like you and I, right,
Yes,
are
you
in
are
the
right.
right.
You are right.
Yeah. Okay, so that.
Okay, so that's it, Mr. Lee. So we're
Mm,
coming to the end. All right. So once again, thanks Lee for accepting our invitation to
my
share your
pleasure. My
thoughts,
pleasure.
right? Your
Yes.
feedback with us.
I
We
hope it
are truly,
helps.
yes, yes, yes. It helped. We are truly honored to have you with us today. And of course, I'm looking forward to have more and more session with you in future.
Of course,
All right.
definitely.
So do you want to have any closing notes?
Uh, no, I think now is a time for Malaysians to support Malaysians. I mean, we have enough talent, we have enough resource, we have guys like you who have invested your time, your resource in to be able to offer a service to the customer. Right now is a time to try and help each other out, right? And see what we can do for each other, right? And then grow out of this together.
All
Okay.
right.
All
Thanks,
right.
Lee. Thanks,
All
Lee.
right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Goodbye. Stay safe. Take care, Lee. All
Hey,
right.
you too.
See you.
Bye.